now. Count on 2, live and local in the Lowcountry. This is News 2 at 6.
Somerville could be the latest town to mandate vaccines for their employees. I'm Lexi Moore, hearing from leaders on why this is necessary to fight COVID-19.
Plus, we have new details released on the injuries Alec Murdaugh sustained during a shooting this past weekend.
Right now, we want to get straight to breaking news. President Biden has announced new vaccine requirements that will affect as many as 100 million Americans.
Yeah, among the new orders, all employees with more than 100 workers are required to be vaccinated or test for the virus weekly. Also, all employees of the executive branch of the U.S. government, as well as contractors who do business with the federal government, will be required to get vaccinated. This is part of the president's all-out effort to increase vaccinations.
Governor McMaster responded to the president's new mandates on Twitter, saying, quote, "The American dream has turned a nightmare under President Biden and the radical Democrats. They have declared war against capitalism, thumbed their noses at the Constitution, and empowered our enemies abroad. Rest assured, we will fight them to the gates of hell to protect the liberty and livelihood of every South Carolinian," end quote.
And right here in the Lowcountry, hospitals are teaming up to make sure as many people as possible get vaccinated.
News 2's Forrest Tucker spoke with area hospital officials, and Forrest joins us now live from Charleston's medical district. And Forrest, doctors are now using some new methods as a way to get more people vaccinated. What did they tell you they are doing?
Carolyn, good evening. 5 Lowcountry hospitals have started what they call the Get the Facts, Get the Vax campaign to make sure everybody gets their dose. Roper St. Francis, Trident Medical Center, the Johnson VA Medical Center, East Cooper Medical Center, and MUSC joining forces with a new strategy using radio, print, and billboard ads for vaccine education.
See it on a billboard, we're likely to believe it. We're likely to have some validity to it. We hear it on the radio, there's likely some substance to that, versus the social media outlets, which all of us are terrified of what we're reading.
With the new threat of a new variant called Mu, doctors say vaccination is the best tool to help build immunity against future mutations.
The vaccines haven't been just given to a couple people, or thousands of people, or millions of people. There have been over 1 billion doses of this vaccine given. We know that it is safe, and we know that it's effective.
Before the campaign even starts, the Johnson VA Medical Center says there has been an uptick in its vaccination numbers.
And we're happy to have them come in because we want them to come in, be vaccinated, protect them, protect their families, protect their fellow veterans and the community.
The message from doctors is clear. Trust them so they can help you help yourself.
You trust us to do that. You trust us to take your gallbladders out, or you trust us to do these major surgeries, major life-altering surgeries, but yet there's some distrust when we say you need to get vaccinated.
Now, we have resources on where you can go to get your COVID-19 vaccine over on our website. That's counton2.com. Reporting in the medical district, I'm Forrest Tucker. Count on 2.
Happening right now, the town of Somerville is discussing requiring all town employees to be vaccinated for COVID-19. News 2's Lexi Moore joins us live from Town Hall up there. And Lexi, several cities in our area already making similar requirements.
Yeah, that's right, Brendan. City of Charleston, North Charleston, and Charleston County are already requiring their employees to get vaccinated or else they could lose their job. Now it's Somerville's turn to decide if this is what's best for their employees. If the vaccine requirement is passed in tonight's meeting, anyone who works for the town would need to be fully vaccinated over the next few months. Right now, employees who are vaccinated get paid leave by October 4th if they get COVID-19. Town of Somerville Public Information Officer Mary Edwards says town officials have been watching the spike of COVID-19 cases in the area closely, prompting tonight's discussion.
I mean, they are watching, what other cities are doing at the federal level and other cities. So it's definitely something that we're watching, and I know that they're making their decisions for what really is best for our town and our employees.
Now tonight's meeting is underway right now. We'll have the latest decision of those employee requirements on air and online over on our website, counton2.com. Reporting in Somerville, I'm Lexi Moore, Count on 2.
Lexi, thank you. State health leaders met in Columbia on Thursday discussing the latest with COVID-19 and other issues in the state. DHEC's director shared an update and was asked about the mask mandate prohibition in schools. Jason Raven was there and tells us what happened.
Well, during an emergency meeting last month, the board of DHEC voted to ask lawmakers to reconsider the budget proviso that bans mask mandates in South Carolina schools. DHEC Director Dr. Edward Simmer says they sent out requests to meet with House and Senate leadership. He says earlier this week they met with Senate President Harvey Peeler. Now, he says it was a positive meeting, but did not say whether or not President Peeler would call the Senate back soon. Now, during Thursday's meeting, one of the board members asked Dr. Simmer about DHEC's emergency authority to issue a mask mandate in schools across the state. Now, Director Simmer says writing a statewide order would be next to impossible because every school district is different. He also says enforcement of a face covering requirement in schools would be an issue with the proviso in place.
Proviso 108 is very clear that we cannot use school district personnel or anyone funded with state funds to enforce a requirement to wear masks. Which then comes to the question, well, who would? Because obviously who's mostly watching the children are the teachers, the principals, and other people in the schools, all of whom are funded with state funds.
Now, Dr. Simmer says it's possible they could issue localized orders for a specific school district or school, but would run into a problem with enforcement. Dr. Simmer says they have also reached out to House Speaker Jay Lucas's office to meet with him. They have not heard back just yet, but hope to hear from him soon. In Columbia, I'm Jason Raven.
We have developing news as the father of a well-known South Carolina family is apologizing for allegedly misappropriating millions of dollars and says he's going to repay his former law firm. Alec Murdoch resigned from that law firm after the misappropriation of funds came to light. A statement released by his family reads, Alec is deeply sorry for his actions and is accepting full responsibility for his conduct. He intends to repay the firm for all monies he misappropriated. Alec hopes to have his conduct does not distract from law enforcement's efforts to find who murdered his wife Maggie and son Paul and bring anyone responsible to justice. End quote. And we are also learning more details on the injuries Murdoch sustained during a shooting this past Saturday. His attorney, Jim Griffin, says Alec was driving on Salkehatchie Road in Hampton County when he noticed he had low air pressure in a tire on his car and then pulled over. Griffin says a truck driver rolled his window down, asked if Murdoch needed help. That's when the driver allegedly shot him. Griffin said the injuries include an entry and exit wound, a skull fracture, and minor brain bleeding in 2 different places. He also added the shooting was not self-inflicted. No arrests have been made in the shooting, but we do have full coverage of the crimes surrounding this family on our website, counton2.com.
Developing news right now, a local church will be temporarily moving its services into the gymnasium of the church after emergency crews say a lightning strike sparked a fire. News 2's Riley Benson spoke with the pastor of Fort Johnson Baptist Church on James Island and joins us now in the studio with more information. And Riley, the pastor and certainly the congregation, very upset about the damage caused by that fire.
Yeah, Carolyn, Fort Johnson Baptist Church, its pastor and members are working to pick up the pieces from this morning's fire, but the congregation says they're bound and determined to not let the fire keep them from holding church. Pastor Marty Middleton gave me a tour of the church following this morning's fire. Now take a look at this video of the aftermath. Crews with the James Island Fire Department say the church was struck by lightning last night and likely smoldered overnight before catching fire this morning just after 8 a.m. The sanctuary suffered heavy damage, especially along the roof line. That roof eventually collapsed fully and let rain pour into the building for hours. Now, the building is likely a total loss, but the pastor says he's thankful it wasn't worse, and congregation members say they will rebuild.
We saw the smoke coming out, and we just immediately got everybody out when we were able, our director was able to get the firefighters here, and they were here so quickly. We are super thankful for them. And thankful for the rain as well, and just thankful for everybody's support right now. All the messages we've gotten, it's just It's a hard day, but we are going to get through this.
Now on our tour, Pastor Middleton told me the church has a large gym they plan to set up and use for Sunday service this Sunday morning while working through the rebuild. Reporting live in studio, Riley Benson, Count on 2.
Next on News 2.
All right, time for our fishing forecast. Coming up Friday will be much better than Thursday morning. High tide 11:08, low at 5:27 in the afternoon with a northeast wind about 10 knots. That chance of rain coming down to only 20% for tomorrow. And if you miss us on News 2, catch us on the radio, 1017 Chuck FM. You're watching News 2 at 6.